Okay, so made a comment earlier, and I don't know. I feel I'm free to say whatever I want because this is America. Plus, I think it's funny, but I do not condone racism, nor do I like it. I think if you give me 60 seconds to figure out another reason to hate somebody, I can give you a lot of other reasons to hate somebody besides the color of their skin. And so I think to hate somebody because they're black, they're brown, they're white, they're red, they're yellow, they're Catholic, they're Protestant, they're Buddhist, they're Jewish, they're Muslim. To hate somebody for their race, color, creed, sexual beliefs, whatever, is stupid. I mean, just, you're a moron if you hate somebody for any of those reasons. You know, you want to hate somebody because they're an asshole? Go for it. You want to hate somebody because they're mean? I agree. But to hate somebody just because of something, you know, like that is moronic. So, let's see. In 2000, I was doing Northern Watch in Turkey. And we just finished up and we were heading home. And as we were heading home, we stopped in Rota. And there was a super typhoon that had ravaged Mozambique. And so we were getting diverted. So we hung out in Rota for a day or two while we were, you know, getting country clearances and getting some stuff. And we went to Mozambique. Had to fly Turkey to Ghana. And then, for whatever reason, people would not allow us to fly through Africa or over their country, even though we were doing a humanitarian thing. So we had to fly all the way around Africa. And so we flew to Ghana, refueled, and then we flew to South Africa. And then from South Africa we staged and went into Mozambique. And I remember we got into Mozambique, and it was pretty cool. I got a picture of myself with the Prime Minister. I was a young senior airman, and I was a PJ, and I was very bold. And I ended up giving my camera to some general and said, "Sir, can you take a picture?" And so I have a picture of myself with the Prime Minister of Mozambique taken by some 2-star general. And I think they were all pretty much shocked the fact that this senior airman with slightly long hair, almost a pompadour, was asking them to do this. But as I've said before, if you look confident and competent in what you're doing, most people will not mess with you. So nobody messed with me. And so we're there, and all right, let me back up, because this actually happened in South Africa. So in South Africa, they put us up for the night in a resort hunting lodge, and it was the most nicest resort hunting lodge I've ever seen. Although 6 of us shared one room, because there wasn't enough rooms for everybody. But we didn't care. 6 PJs, you know, on the floor. Sorry. On the floor, on the bed, we let Latman, Sergeant Jennings, one of my favorite team leaders and NCOs throughout the years, we let him have the bed, because he was probably 36 or 37 at the time, which is, you know, roughly my age right now. But when you're a 22, 23-year-old kid, you're like, you're old, dude. And but I love Latman, that's what we called him. Because he was a good, he's still alive, so he's not dead, but he's a good motherfucker. I love that guy to death. So, we're riding with this South African, and, alright, let me back up. Alright, so we landed, they gave us some briefs, and said, look, this is South Africa, they are racist, they still practice apartheid, they, you know, but you are not to say anything. This is not what we're here for. You're not to get in any philosophical arguments with anybody. You're just here. Don't say nothing. So, you know, I mean, I was like, I don't like this, but all right, I'll keep my mouth shut. And we had some African American maintainers and people with us, and we would talk later on about it and be like, I don't know, dude, how do you feel about this? And they'd be like, you know, that's just the way the world is. They were a little bit older, smarter, wiser, and they're just like, that's just the way the world is. And I was like, I don't get that, I don't like it, you know, but all right, I guess so. So we're all in this truck being taken to this place. We got a driver, and he's driving, and we're out in the middle of nowhere, South Africa. I mean, it's beautiful. I saw a lion eating something. It was gigantic. They had monkey strikes on the dang runway. I mean, it was Africa. I saw lions and elephants, giant elephants. It beautiful, just a beautiful place. So we're in the middle of nowhere, trying to find this place, and the guy sees this lady, and he asks her, you know, he goes, "Hey, where's, you know, such and such place?" And she goes, "Oh, it's, you know, just up the road." And he's like, "Well, take us there." And she's like, no, I need to get some milk first. You know, so give me a minute. And he's like, "No, you know, I want it now." And she's like, "No, give me a couple minutes, and I'll take you there." And so he gets all mad, and he's calling her names and saying stuff, and we're all, you know, just sitting there. I'm on the hump, sitting next to him, just like, just watching. The lap man's next to me, and I'm like looking at him, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, and he's like, you know, give me the, don't say nothing. I'm like, all right. So she comes out, and she's, I don't know, 40, 50-year-old grandma looking type, maybe a little bit older. And so she starts walking down the road where this guy starts driving behind her, and like she's almost having to run. Like he's, you know, driving very uncomfortably fast, you know, to where she's having to trot and keep moving. And I'm watching this, and like I'm kind of, is this really happen? And you know, kind of, I'm chuckling because I'm so nervous. I don't know what, you know, I want to say something, but we can't say anything. And this guy had just been totally nice to us, like was real nice, real polite, even to the African American maintainers. He was nice. And later on I was able to talk to some people, and they said, you know, the difference between an African American and an African is like, to them, African Americans were white. They didn't see that an African American was African, you know, because you weren't from Africa. You might have, their racism wasn't so much color as it was where you came from. And I just remember thinking like, wow, you know, I mean, their racism is on such a different level than American racism, because American racism is just color. You know, the Nazis were color, but these guys were more of a socio-economic background racism, you know. So he's chasing this lady, and we're all kind of laughing because, I mean, totally uncomfortable. I've never been more uncomfortable in my life, I think. And so we get, you know, we get to the place, and the people are super duper nice, and they fix us this food. And this is where I fell in love with sweet potatoes. They made this sweet potato, like a mashed sweet potato. And I don't know if you noticed, but they're like at least 8 different kinds of sweet potatoes. Not just the yams that we know, but like it looked like a regular potato, but it was sweet. And so, I mean, they were just really nice people. When we ate, they treated us like kings, and, you know, oh, you're American, you know. They didn't care what color you were American. That was all that mattered. And so we all get into the room, and I'm like, did that just happen? And, they're like, yeah. And I'm like, why did we laugh? Like, I was very uncomfortable. And they're like, well, I mean, we were uncomfortable, and, he was kind of laughing, so we just kind of laughed with him to not appear whatever. I mean, we just, and I hate that. Like, to this day, that bothers me that I didn't say anything, but I don't know, I was told not to. I mean, there have been plenty of times that I've did stuff that I was told not to, and I still did it, but it didn't feel right, and even now it doesn't feel right. But I don't know what else we could have done, So I don't like racism. I don't approve of racism. I don't condone stupid things like that. And if it happened now, I'm not wiser, stronger, but I definitely would have said something, or stomped on the brake, or caused an international incident. Which, is that the right answer? I don't know. I think you got to teach. If we could just teach every Klan member, every Muslim extremist, hey, here's a little education. Women are equal. No way. Yeah, serious. And men are equal too. And children have rights. And let's stop blowing each other up for 5 minutes and, look past our differences and see that we have a whole lot more things in common than we do our differences. I'm thinking to the point, like ISIS and all these other assholes aren't, they're Muslim, yes, okay, but they're not, that's not why they're doing what they're doing, the South during the Civil War, were they Christian? Yes, but that's not why they were doing what they were doing. Religion, they may identify themselves as this or that, but that's not why they do what they do. It's not, it's just part of who they are, but it's not, if you use religion as a reason to, wage jihad or war or death on other people, oh, you're Protestant, well, I don't like you, I'm Catholic, or oh, you're Jewish, well, I don't like you because I'm Muslim. It's stupid. It's wrong. You're an idiot. There's no easy way around it. Like, we need to outbreed you, and you probably need to die, because the world is too big, too small, simultaneously, for too many people to be doing this kind of stupid stuff. And it's the 21st century. We can put people on the moon. The earth, the sun doesn't revolve around the earth. The world is not flat. There are no sea monsters. Whatever, backward thinking that you have, you're wrong. And, you need to join us in the future, or, you need to go away. It's just, the world doesn't need people like that. We need more smart people. And, I don't know, I'm hoping ISIS will unite the world in, because the Japanese are all like, oh yeah, you're done, dude. And the Jordanians are like, we will spend every bullet, every ounce of gasoline, and everything we have, every coin in our coffer, to avenge, our pilot's death. I'm not saying that's right, but I don't think ISIS or ISIL, whoever the hell they are, I don't think they speak any other language except violence. And people that speak violence don't understand anything other than violence. You can reason with a reasonable person. You can reason with an intelligent person. You can reason with somebody with half a brain. But these guys, they probably all share the same brain because they keep spouting the same stuff over and over again. And if they were even somewhat intelligent, I think that they would have realized, oh shoot, it's like the Japanese Pearl Harbor. We have awakened the sleeping giant. 9/11. Look what happened to those guys. So, I'm not a big fan of perpetual war for perpetual peace. But sometimes you gotta do the right thing. And doing the right thing is, the Little Rock Nine, Martin Luther King Jr., it's standing up for people's rights and saying, hey, enough is enough. This is wrong. That's where I think we're at. That people need to stop doing stupid stuff and start being more empathetic and more, I don't know how we're gonna do it. Anybody got any ideas? I'm open for ideas. I'm open for discussion. Anybody want to talk about it? I love hearing what people gotta say. I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the world or I don't have all the answers. But I see a problem, and I think a big part of it is communication. Nobody talks to each other. Nobody's like, hey, my name's Mike. How are you? What's your name? Just reach across the party lines. Republican, Democrat, whatever. Human being. American. Freedom loving. Don't we all love freedom? Can we all just get along? I mean, how hard is it to just... I don't know. I'm not a huge Obama fan, but I don't think he's the Antichrist like people are. Having said that, I don't like most politicians. But I just don't like politics. I'm sure they're very nice people, but I don't like... I'm a fan of compromise, but I'm not a fan of compromising your character or your, not beliefs in that, I believe that all people are inferior to the white race or something. I'm not, screw that. Look at my skin is brown. So that's a little less than tan right now, but Hitler was an idiot. We're lucky for us he was a crazy idiot, because he went too far. I think that's the problem with these people. They go too far. We're lucky they're not sane, because if they were sane, he would have stopped at France, or would have stopped at, wherever. ISIS would have stopped at, just killing Kurds and doing whatever. But instead, they're crazy idiots just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's like, what are you people thinking? So, yeah, that's my thoughts for today in resiliency, is that the human nature, or the human being, Homo sapiens sapien, as Neil deGrasse Tyson said, the thinking man. You gotta think, because just reacting is not good. You have a bad day at work, don't go home and beat your kids. You have a bad day at work, go home, go for a run, go for a swim, go do something. You get in a fight with your wife, girlfriend, spouse, significant other, don't throw out stuff from 3 weeks ago or 3 years ago, or, well, your mother, or whatever. I mean, just argue the facts of the matter at that moment. And don't even argue, discuss. Because if we're all equal, why are we arguing? You don't have to yell. You don't have to get personal in that, well, I'm mad at you, so I'm going to, bring up something else, or say, you're stupid. It doesn't help. You got to deal with the facts and just deal with that moment. If you got to argue with somebody, have a nice discussion and talk about it, because equals talk. You only downgrade or lie to people that you don't respect. So don't do it. And if you're in a relationship where you're yelling and fighting and arguing, and you're like, but I love them, it's probably not a good thing. Because I guarantee you there are healthy relationships out there where people just discuss the matter, and don't get all ugly on each other and name calling. Because, like I said, life is too short for that kind of stuff. Just shoot. Man, there are too many people on this planet. I'm just gonna say that. That's my belief. Yep. It's a first world problem. I have a car. I live in a house. My children have food. Life is not that bad, because tonight I am not gonna pray to God that He sends some man to have sex with me so I can afford to keep a roof over my head. And if I get to that point, I'll let you guys know. I don't see it coming, just because life's not that bad. So I hope that your life isn't that bad. And if your life is that bad, then send me an email. Let's talk. I'll listen. I don't know if I can help you, but I can listen to you, and I'm willing to do that. So don't do anything crazy. Don't kill anybody. Don't kill yourself. Don't hurt the world. Make the world a better place. And thanks for listening to me. So have a good one.